The wedding dress is stunning, but the tears are real. What heartbreaking secret is she holding onto while the world celebrates? The sun had barely crested the red rock ridges of southern Utah when Christine Brown woolly padded barefoot across the cool tile of her new Leahy kitchen, the one with the double islands and the farmhouse sink she'd pinned on Pinterest 1,000 times back when Pinterest felt like the closest thing she'd ever get to freedom. Outside the wide picture window, November frost still clung to the grass, but inside, the air smelled like vanilla candles and the faint plastic scent of unboxed Amazon packages stacked 3 deep on the mudroom bench. David Woolley, all 6 foot something of him, leaned against the countertop in a flannel shirt the color of desert sand, sipping coffee from a mug that read, "World's Okayest Bonus Dad." He watched his wife of 18 months with the amused half-smile of a man who had married into chaos and decided chaos suited him just fine. "Morning, babe," he said, nodding toward the leaning tower of brown cardboard. "Did Jeff Bezos move in while I was asleep, or are we just sponsoring his next rocket?" Christine laughed, the sound bright and unapologetic, nothing like the tight, careful chuckle she used to give cameras back when every word felt like evidence in a trial she hadn't agreed to attend. She wore leggings and an oversized hoodie that still smelled faintly of the Flagstaff pines she'd left behind, her blonde hair twisted up in a clip that cost more than most of her grocery runs in the old days. "Some of it's for the diaper cakes," she defended, already ripping into a box with the glee of a kid on Christmas. "Michael T's baby shower is Saturday, and Savannah asked for those little sock roses, and the air fryer." David raised an eyebrow. "That was on sale. And the ring light. For content, David. Content pays the bills." He set the mug down, crossed the kitchen in 2 strides, and wrapped his arms around her from behind, resting his chin on the top of her head. For a moment they stood there, swaying slightly, while the Keurig gurgled its last drops into the carafe. Outside, a delivery truck backed out of the driveway, beeping its cheerful warning. "You know I'm teasing," he murmured into her hair. "But we do need to talk about the bills at some point." Christine stiffened, just a little. She knew this conversation. She'd had versions of it for 25 years, only then it came with 4 adults and 13 children and a man who believed money was a river God would keep replenishing if everyone just prayed hard enough and didn't buy the name brand cereal. "I have money coming in," she said carefully. "The rentals are almost ready. Cameo pays pretty well. LuLaRoe is a side hustle, Chris. I'm talking about 10 years from now. 20. When Truly's in law school and the show," he trailed off. The show. It hung in the air between them like a ghost neither of them had invited to breakfast. Christine turned in his arms so she could see his face. David had kind eyes, crow's-footed from decades of construction site sun, and a salt and pepper beard that made him look like the mountain man she used to daydream about when she was 17 and engaged to a boy who collected wives the way other men collected baseball cards. "Say it," she whispered. He exhaled through his nose. "The show isn't going to last forever. We both know that. Season 21 is, well, it feels like the epilogue nobody asked for." She felt something twist low in her stomach, the same sensation she used to get when Kody would announce they were moving again, Vegas, Flagstaff, wherever the wind or the creditors blew them. Only this time the ground wasn't shifting under her feet, it was steady. This time she was choosing. "I have savings," she said. It came out defensive. From TLC. He didn't laugh, but his mouth twitched. "Sweetheart, I love you, but those checks aren't what they were in 2012. And you spent 25 years having babies instead of building a 401k. The words should have stung. Back in the old life, they would have. Back when every financial conversation ended with someone crying in a pantry or Kody yelling about sacrifice and obedience. But David said it gently, the way he said everything, like facts were just weather, not weapons. "I know," she admitted, and the admission felt like stepping out of a too small dress she'd worn for decades. "When the kids were little, we were so broke I'd have to put groceries back at the register. Mary would slip me a 20 sometimes like we were teenagers hiding cigarette money. Janelle kept spreadsheets just to figure out whose turn it was to buy milk." David's arms tightened around her. "I hate that for you." "Don't," she said quickly. "It wasn't all bad. There was safety, I guess, in the chaos, in knowing there were 4 adults even if only one of us had a paycheck. But you're right, I don't have retirement, I barely have social security credits. If the show ends. When the show ends, he corrected softly. Then it's your pension and whatever I can scrape together from rental properties and whatever's left of my soul after selling leggings on the internet. He laughed then, a low rumble she felt in her spine. Your soul's worth more than that. Is it? She pulled back to look at him. Because sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m. convinced I've just been trading one kind of cage for another. Only this one has ring lights and better lighting. David cupped her face in his calloused hands. Listen to me. You are not in a cage. You are in a house you picked out, with a man who thinks you hang the moon, raising the last of your babies and the first of your grandbabies. And yeah, maybe we need to sit down with a financial planner instead of buying another air fryer we don't need. I said it was on sale. But we get to decide what happens next. Not Kody, not TLC, not the Reddit detectives with their conspiracy theories. Us. Christine felt the tears threaten, the sudden kind that sneak up when someone tells you the truth in a gentle voice. She blinked them back and nodded. Okay, she said, after the diaper cakes, and after Michaelty's shower, and maybe after I film one more, get ready with me, because the ring light really does make my skin look amazing. David kissed her forehead. Deal. Across the valley, in a sprawling stucco mansion that looked like every other sprawling stucco mansion in Coyote Pass adjacent suburbia, Kody Brown stood in front of a bathroom mirror ringed with Hollywood bulbs, wielding clippers like a man about to perform surgery on his own identity. ROBYN hovered in the doorway, arms crossed, watching with the wary expression of someone who had learned that every change in this house came with a manifesto attached. Are you sure about this? She asked for the 3rd time. Kody met her eyes in the mirror. His hair had gone almost completely gray in the last 2 years, the curls that once made him look like a polygamist rock star now hanging limp and defeated. The beard, once a proud mane that reached his sternum, was threaded with silver like tinsel on a dying Christmas tree. I'm tired of looking like Father Time, he said. You said kissing me felt like making out with a Brillo pad. I said it was uncomfortable, ROBYN corrected. There's a difference. Same result. He flicked the clippers on, they buzzed like an angry hornet. You want teenage makeouts, you get teenage Kody. ROBYN opened her mouth, closed it again. There was no point arguing. When Kody decided something was symbolic, the only thing to do was duck and wait for the debris to settle. He started at the chin, shearing off great clumps that fell into the sink like shed antlers. With every pass, 10 years seemed to drop away.